We are here to emphasize the importance of water safety. Highlighting water safety is one of the many ways our community comes together to promote awareness, fun, and safe recreation for all. On Monday, May 20th, Pasadena Mayor Victor Gordo issued a proclamation recognizing May 2024 as Water Safety Month. Our city joins communities nationwide in a proactive effort to prevent drownings and accidents occurring in the water. Today, our department is joined by Pasadena Fire Department, Pasadena Public Health Department, and the Rose Bowl Aquatics Center. At this time, I'd like to call Jennifer Colby, Public Information Coordinator for Parks, Recreation, Community Services, to say a couple of words.
We are pleased to welcome all of you this morning here to our newly renovated John J. Kennedy Pool. While this is its first summer in operation, the pool actually is open and heated year-round, inviting you to enjoy recreation swim or our aquatics programs during any season of the year. Emergency preparedness is a top priority at the facility, which is why our lifeguards are trained by American Red Cross instructors in CPR for the professional rescuer, emergency medical response, administering oxygen in emergency situations, state-mandated public safety training, and they receive their aquatic facility operator certification. Now, as summer approaches, it is crucial to think of water safety, whether you're visiting the beach, a local swimming pool, or enjoying your pool at home. Any person in the water is at risk of injury, and the best defense is to plan ahead. You can take proactive steps by enrolling your family in swim lessons and first aid training, practicing safe habits in the water, and understanding the rules of the site that you're planning to swim at. We encourage you to take advantage of the resources available to you. Safety information is available online through accredited organizations such as the American Red Cross. Water safety tips are being shared throughout the month of May on our social media channels, both the City of Pasadena and Pasadena Parks and Rec. And information about our aquatics programs is available on the city website, cityofpasadena.net. And now I'm pleased to introduce the Director of Programming for the Rose Bowl Aquatics Center, Christina Alvarado.
Over the past decade, we've really come together as a community to raise awareness about water safety and implementing multiple layers of protection. However, it remains vital to consistently spread this message in order to safeguard the children in our community. Recently, the National Drowning Prevention Alliance launched their First Sport campaign. The idea behind this campaign is simple yet profound. Swimming should be every child's first sport. I love the idea of this. The idea that parents prioritize learning how to swim at an early age. It's about more than just sports. It's about teaching kids a vital life-saving skill. Swimming shouldn't be seen as optional. It should be seen as a necessary checkbox. As community leaders, it's up to us to ensure that swimming lessons remain accessible and affordable for everyone. Luckily, both the city and the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center offer financial assistance programs to make this possible. Now, swimming skills are invaluable year-round. During this season, we observe a notable surge in swim lesson registrations, which is great, yet I wish more families would participate in programming throughout the year. Building strong swimming skills takes time and consistent effort. Continuity is also important to make sure that we minimize the chance of regression. Thankfully, Pasadena offers fantastic resources like the John J. Kennedy Pool and the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center pools that are open year-round. Please take advantage. Before I wrap up today, I'd like to emphasize the importance of ensuring that students with special needs have the opportunity to learn how to swim. It's not only possible, it's essential for these children to become proficient swimmers and learn water safety skills. While it may require some extra time and innovative teaching methods, it's absolutely achievable. I'm proud to share that some of our team members recently completed the adaptive swim lesson training through Swim Angelfish. The resources and techniques that they offer to address common challenges in adaptive swim lessons is truly remarkable. Let's continue working together to ensure that all children, regardless of ability or socioeconomic status, have the opportunity to learn this life-saving skill, swimming. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce from the Pasadena Health Department, Dr. Matt Feaster.
I'm going to do a quick pivot from drown prevention because water safety is not just about drown prevention. The Pasadena Public Health Department would like to remind everyone with some tips for staying safe while enjoying summer water activities to prevent water-borne illnesses. For your home, pools, hot tubs, and water playgrounds that are properly maintained are less likely to spread germs. Disinfection with chlorine or bromine and maintaining pH levels are the first defense against germs that can cause swimming-related illnesses like swimmer's itch, swimmer's ear, and other skin rashes. When visiting recreational water parks or while swimming in pools that are not yours, outbreaks of diarrhea are the most common swimming-related illness outbreaks. People who are sick with diarrhea can cause diarrhea-causing germs to others if they swim while having these symptoms. If others swallow this contaminated water, they can become infected. Those with symptoms should avoid swimming, and parents should ensure children with symptoms of diarrhea stay out of the water. Some diseases like cryptosporidiosis can survive chemical disinfection and cause outbreaks at water parks and freshwater recreational areas. Children, pregnant people, and people with weakened immune systems are most at risk for swimming-related illnesses and should exercise caution when they swim in public areas. And finally, in summer it gets hot and our demand for methods to cool ourselves, they increase. Water features like fountains, hot tubs, and especially water misters, atomizers, or humidifiers are attractive solutions to beat the heat, but if used unsafely can carry a risk of serious illness due to the prevalence of Legionella in pipes. The Legionella bacteria can accumulate in our plumbing and water features and cause serious illness, especially when it's first turned on that time of the day or after sitting still for some time. That bacteria can be ejected from misters and fountains, and if inhaled, can cause severe illness. Legionellosis is a special concern for people with weakened immune systems, older adults, and people with certain respiratory conditions. You can reduce your risk of Legionellosis by running water through those features for a short period before people are present. We hope these simple steps can keep Pasadena and Pasadenans have a safer summer. Thank you. And I'd like to call up Battalion Chief Hansen from the Pasadena Fire Department.
Again, thank you all for being here today. I would like to share with you a couple of important safety reminders as we get into the summer season here, as you get out and enjoy some nice family time to cool off in the pool or wherever you choose to cool off. So the first tip is you should never swim alone. You should always have somebody with you, whether they're in the pool or you have somebody on the pool deck watching you swim, just as a secondary means in case something does happen. Lifeguards, while they may be present, as we have here at the pool, they are not a primary source of protection for your swimmers. The family member should be your primary, and your backup would be the lifeguards that are on the site. If you have a learning swimmer, you should have them within arm's length from you, just in case they do happen to get into trouble while they are swimming. Teach your children to have a healthy and respect for the water. They should ask permission before they get into the water, or if they're going to get near the water, they should ask for permission as well. You should always be a water watcher. Provide close contact and constant attention to your children. Supervise them and avoid any distractions. This day and age with tablets and cell phones, you need to focus on your children that are in the water, because a child can drown without making any sound. They may not splash, whereas maybe an adult would. If your child is missing, go to the water first. That should be your first place to look. While you're swimming in the pool, it's recommended that you don't hold your breath for long periods of time. This can cause what's called swimmer's blackout, and that's obviously not something that we want to have happen. It could be life-threatening. If you're considering sending your kids off to summer camp, as parents, as guardians, ask as many questions as possible of the camp, of the staff. You really want to know, do they have any kind of emergency action plan? Do they background check any of their employees? Are they CPR certified? Are they first aid certified? Those will all help kind of answer any questions that you may have. If they are going to have any aquatic type of activities, do they have lifeguards that are there that will help to protect your children as they're swimming? The last thing I want to say is it's very important to get CPR certified. There's now a new program out. It's been out for a little bit, but it's called Sidewalk CPR, and I would encourage everybody to do it. It's very easy. It's very basic. We're actually going to kind of show it to you here in just a moment. Again, I want to reiterate paying attention to kids when they're swimming in the pool. You can see here we have two people here in the front. Now, most likely they're not going to be with their back to the pool, but being on cell phones, being distracted, they can't see if there's somebody in the pool that's in distress. We'll go ahead and start the demonstrations on that right now so we can show you what the sidewalk CPR looks like. So as you can see, our parents here are distracted on their cellular devices. They're not paying attention to what's going on. As I mentioned, they're obviously not going to have their backs to the pool, but cell phones could be an easy distractor. Pay attention to what's going on in the pool because they don't see what's going on in the background. So we'll talk really quickly while our rescuer is performing CPR here. As you heard the lifeguards that were in the pool, somebody asked for them to call 911. If you're by yourself, the first thing that you want to do is call 911. If not, send somebody to call 911 for you.
Guys, please go call 911 real quick.
As you saw our rescuer, the first thing that she did was she tapped the patient to try and see if they would respond at all, and they did not respond. So she began immediate CPR. As you can see, she's got her hands one on top of the other. Her fingers are interlaced. Her elbows are locked, and she's pressing right over the chest. If you have the ability to take a shirt off, that's only going to help you to identify the landmarks. You want to shoot right straight for the center of the chest, and you want to push fast and you want to push hard. One of the things that you want to do to kind of help you with your rate is the Bee Gees song Staying Alive. So as you're compressing, if you're just going to the beat of Staying Alive, that will put you at a rate of 100 beats per minute, which is what we're shooting for. You want to continue to do CPR until you get help from any other community members, or if you have paramedics that arrive to take over their care. What was brought up earlier about testing the water, if you do have any pools at home, jacuzzis at home, it's very important that you test the water's chemistry prior to getting into the water. The simple test kit that you can see here is something you can pick up from any of your local pool supply stores. Comes with the test vial and a couple of test solutions. It's very easy to do, and it's very important that you test your water before the kids or the family get into the pool this year. It's just a simple pool chemistry test kit. It checks the pH level, it checks the chlorine level, or if you have bromine, it checks the bromine levels as well. And it has a reference card on the inside of it so you can see what range that your pool water needs to be in. And as they put the test chemicals into the water, you can see how it's changing color. And then the changing of the color will identify what the pH level is or what the chlorine level is, and whether it's safe to swim or not, if you need to add chemicals, or if you don't maintain your pool, to call whoever it is that maintains your pool for you. The question was, what is the normal chlorine level when you're checking your pool? And it's roughly 2 parts per million. Correct? 2. Or above.
It checks, this side checks the pH of the pool. We want to keep it above a 7 and below an 8 for safe swimming. And this side checks the parts per million of the chlorine. So we want to keep that above 2, but below a 10, because if it's anything above a 10, it's considered unsafe to swim.
Regardless of the pool, if they've chosen bromine, chlorine, or a salt functioning pool, ultimately it's down to maintaining the appropriate levels that will keep the waterborne illnesses. So that includes monitoring if it's bromine or chlorine, or if the salt, looking at the salinity concentration, and then the pH, as our lifeguard mentioned. Those are in a dance. So you want to make sure it's not too toxic so that you're not ingesting chlorine, which could cause illness, but also keeping it high enough that you're killing the pathogens like our enteric diseases that cause waterborne illness. Waterborne illnesses is a very common condition. We get multiple reports each week to the health department here in Pasadena. For an annual count, I would have to refer you to our annual report. Yeah, so there's some rules of thumb. If you're going to enjoy a recreational water source that is not your own, there's some things that you can do to protect yourself, especially if you're one of those high-risk groups. So those are people with weakened immune systems, those are pregnant people, or people who are not feeling well that day. So the smell test. So is there a faint smell of chemicals that smell like chlorine or bromine? That's generally a good sign. Also, visible observation. If the pool looks murky or green, it's probably not the safest to be using it. Another thing to consider is there are local risks. So I mentioned freshwater recreational areas, so that can include rivers, lakes, ponds. If it's stagnant, it's a good idea to look at the local health department's announcements, because there might be local risk like leptospirosis or some other diseases that can cause illness, and that could be very regional. So in the East Coast, there are different diseases than we may have here in California. And if you are in those high-risk groups, definitely a good idea to visit the health department's website for those recommendations. Great question, or a great point. Yeah. So if you are swimming in a pool and you are concerned that it might have not maintained the appropriate pH or disinfection balance, showering after can attenuate your risk, but it's better to participate safely in well-maintained pools.